I got something to talk about today that's very fucking important. It's very important to me, okay? Growing up, I grew up as an Asian kid. I'm half Puerto Rican, but you could look at me. Most motherfuckers just gonna think I'm Asian, okay? I'm Chinese. So I grew up in the hood. And those of you who don't know, in the hood is a non-stop roasting culture. So I had to deal with shit all day. In addition to all the shit you see on TV about Asians being fucking nerds and just being, you already know. I don't need to say it. Anyone with fucking eyes can see that shit. But what that did was create a chip on my shoulder, and it was a blessing and a curse. Because on one hand, by being in that place where I was put in such a negative place, I was able to reverse that, and instead I was pushing myself to the past my comfort zone where everyone else would stay comfortable, and that's what led to me getting really good with women in the city, in Manhattan, in the hood. It doesn't fucking matter, especially in New York. There's all types of women, so you have to adjust quickly. That created a giant ego in my head about my masculinity or who I was, my identity, and I'm telling you right now, that was also one of the biggest curses that I let into my life. Let me take a second to explain to you why. Because of that, it led to me creating an identity that was based on something that's just not good, that isn't reliable. Bitches ain't reliable. So to create an identity based on getting women, it was a mistake. What I should have done was just had it as a side thing. That's what happens with us. You know, I'm a synthetic dude. I wasn't naturally a smooth, pretty boy and none of that shit. But what I noticed is that other than the dudes who don't get women or who get divorced or whatever the case is, the dudes who are pretty boys, the guys who grow up getting women, when you see them later on in life, they end up fucked up. A lot of times because they have this identity of getting women, so then eventually you get lazy. Or eventually you meet a bitch where you're like, yo, she's bad and she's so cool. Like, you naturally start to want to chill out. And I see those same dudes who were killing it in high school, killing it in college. Suddenly they're broken down with kids in a marriage with a chick who's now bitchy as fuck. And now they turned into the very thing that they never fucking were. Part of that problem is because they base the entire identity. I base my entire identity on fucking women, or just being the shit, or even just the image of I'm the shit. I'm a pop pills or smoke weed, or I fuck mad bitches, and what happens? Just look at all the celebrity dudes out there. How many of them, they fuck all these bitches, they get all these dopamine spikes, all this adrenaline, and what happens? What happens when the endorphins dry? In life, there's a sun and a moon. There's life and death. Wherever there's highs, I'm telling you, the lows are just as low. Women are a perfect example of that. Everything is dualistic. Drugs are a perfect example of that. So when you base your identity on something that is not consistent, that peaks and valleys dramatically and fucks with your emotions dramatically, I'm telling you, it's a big problem. That's why a guy like AMS is blown up so much. At first I thought it was just because he was talking that shit for real and he was just being honest, and that's definitely part of it. But also it's because he predicated the entire thing on your purpose, which is what he made the mistake of in his life. And that's the exact mistake that I made in my life. That's the exact mistake that so many dudes out there who were killing it early with bitches. That's the problem, is we want to live the image before we built the legacy. That's the problem with us guys. And a lot of guys, where I know dudes out there who are building their legacy, who are getting distracted, where they're like, man, I've been spending this whole time building my legacy, but now I just want to get bitches, and they end up falling to the wayside later on in life. I'm telling you right now, that's why it's so important for you to just be on your shit and to predicate your identity on your life purpose, your life destiny, and your craft. Your craft is always going to be there for you. A bitch, she'll get upset, she'll get this, your job, whatever you create. When you create, that creation will live on forever. I could die, and this video might be talking to someone right now. And that one person, it might make a difference in their life. It might spark the change. It might let them feel like, wow, I'm not fucking alone in this. And that's the motherfuckers that I'm making this for. That's the people that I'm making it for. The people like me. Because ultimately, as men, we don't have no fucking safety net. You might have a bro. You might have a couple bros. But for those who don't, what do you have? There's not. you know, a chick could watch a soap opera and where she gets played and the dude's a dick, or she got all this media, all this shit around him. What do we have? We don't have shit. On top of that, everyone postures. We all want to posture. Especially if you start talking about how you're the shit or how your marriage is amazing, and then suddenly she does some goofy ass shit that completely changes how you see her, or something happens in your life that affects that image that you've been creating that's based on bullshit. Okay? It's an identity based on bullshit. Shit that isn't consistent. Shit that isn't your craft. Something that will always fucking be there. You can go to your grave. Fuck repping a bitch. Go to your grave repping your craft. When you die, that craft will stay the same. It's not gonna go and fuck. No. Everything, your identity, your purpose, or your life, destiny, the goals you have, the number one thing that you live for, that you're gonna leave back in this earth, that's what really matters. Predicating your identity on that is what really matters. It's not about the bitches. It's not about creating this image. It's about having a legacy. And with us guys, we always posture. You can have a room full of dudes. We all know what it is, but as soon as a girl walks in, now motherfuckers are posturing. Now people are just acting fake. Dudes are just selling out their brother, their best friend, their own mother, their own fucking father for a hint of some fucking pussy or this image or to have an image. And I'm telling you right now, that shit is not worth it. Period. It frustrates me, man. It frustrates me because I just think about all the years I wasted in my life predicating my identity just on shit that I look back on and it's like, what do I have to show for it? I got great experiences. I got plenty of bitches on tape, big booties, big titties, my name on it. I got even girls with my name tattooed, all types of shit. But at the end of the day, when you're looking at your mom, when you're looking at your parents, and you're like, yo, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Or I can help them way more. Or if I had dedicated myself to my craft instead of these things or trying to pursue an image or dopamine spikes every fucking 5 seconds, you would be way more prouder with your life. Sure, you might be frustrated some nights. You might have to beat off some nights. But I'm telling you, at the end of the day, when you look back and you can look, just this video alone, I'm proud of this video. I don't care if I look like a bum, if the background's random and shit, it don't fucking matter. This will live on forever. Someone out there will watch this and they're gonna be like, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for doing this. Hell, I'll show this shit to my son. Thank you, and I thank you for watching this and for listening to this, because I can't make this shit up. I can't just go up here and fake a fucking act. In fact, this to me is more preferable than anything else. Any of the YouTubery shit, any of that shit. Because at the end of the day, I got nothing to hide, baby. We ain't got nothing to hide. There's no reason to posture. We all men out here. We don't gotta look pretty. We don't gotta do none of this shit. We don't need none of that. All you need is your principles and the thing in life that drives you to build a system, to build a life for yourself, for you, and for those of you who love you unconditionally. Unconditionally. Point blank, period.